is that unless there is some pending post for you to approve on the event page, that those who have signed up on the event can do the working today. As there is many posts to get pending that to do.
Check, check. Working now? Yes. Okay, I was just saying, Amba, could you approve the messages on the event page so that those who wanted to join the event also can then participate? Azhar has made 2 postings on the event page with the links. Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang this evening. Sadhguru Shri Muji Ji ki Jai. So what are we doing here? Huh? Some of us are together Monday to Friday and some of us together once a week. But we get together for what? What is it that we really want? What are we looking for? And someone might say that we are looking for the self. So first, when you lose something, when my children, they lose something, then what is the first question I ask them? When did you see it last? Or where did you see it last? So if you feel like you lost the self, where did you see it last? Where were you when you saw the self that you lost and now you're looking for it? It's the most obvious question to ask, isn't it? And then someone might say, but I've never seen it actually. Never seen it. Then what is it that you are? The one that has not seen it or is looking for it. Which one is that one? Who is it that is already here? Could this be that this is actually a case of even more absurdity than looking everywhere in the house but the spectacles are on our head? Yeah. Could it be even more absurd than something which is right under our nose and we don't see it? That's why Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharishi said, the most direct way to the recognition of the self and the realization of the self is to ask yourself, who am I? And he was not the first one to say it. Maybe he was the first one to give it so much focus and attention. But for a long time, a lot of sages, right from the Upanishads, have said, inquire into who you are. Even Western philosophers have said, know thyself. So if you're all looking for the self, where must I go to find it? What is it that you are right now? The problem is that most of us are following the wrong teacher. The wrong teacher means this one, which we call the mind, who is constantly directing us to look outside. Outside means in this phenomenal realm. The mind is saying, look, look, like how we find other things phenomenally, in the same way, by going place to place, teacher to teacher, satsang to satsang, we might come across this self. But nobody has found it that way. The only recognition, the only valid, true recognition that has happened is by looking in the other way, looking within. As long as there seems to be a boundary between outside and within, till then we must look within, not in the phenomenal realm. Find that one who witnesses this moving world, this moving realm. Is that moving? Every movement, be it objects in the world, emotions, thoughts, isn't there something which is unmoving, unchanging, which is aware of these movements? And I know the mind might come and say, but I don't see anything. Wait, wait. Don't rush. Slowly. What are we doing? We are looking for that which is unchanging, the witness of that which is changing. Let's look. You will not be able to deny that there is a witness. That which witnesses even sight, that which witnesses taste, smell, all these sensory perceptions. Are you not the witness of these? What does this witness look like? Allow that which is moving to move. Find this witness which looks at the movement, but in itself is not moving. Did you find it? How many found it? You can tell me in the Hangout or in the YouTube chat. I'm looking at both today. How many found it? Because we are not speaking metaphorically, we are speaking very directly. So don't listen to satsang as if it is some poetry. There's beautiful words. How nice. How nice. Not like that. Really, look. Is there one that witnesses all that is changing? So what are your options? You can say yes, it is clear. Or you can say, no, I have no idea what you're saying. Or you can say, yes, of course there is a witness, but I can't find it. I can't see it. Check for yourself if you're too embarrassed to type or to tell me. Pratik says, can't find it, yet can't deny it. I am it. Some are having some problem with the... It's freezing. Okay, maybe I try to connect to a different... let me try to connect to that one. Still here in the. Yes, looks like still working. Okay, good. So it should be better here. Clear. Okay. So today I feel like we must really take the bull by the horn and really look at this because you keep hearing this every day, and we must look at any confusion that there might be or any frustration that there might be that I'm actually in satsang, but I'm not really finding what he is talking about. So the question was very simple. The question was, can you find this unmoving witness to all that moves? And be wary of any mental imagery, any imagination. Visualizing something, use that visualization also to find out who is it that is aware of this visual. So it looks like we're having some trouble where in the Hangout it's clear, but in YouTube they're struggling with. Let's see how it goes. So Batima said there is something unchanging throughout all experience. Can't pinpoint on it. I can't say it is a witness. This is good. So Lumiere says, yes, I'm being observed right now. All right, let's see if it works now. Very good. Lots of responses on YouTube. Very good. Very good. Okay, so let's take it very slowly and very practically. Yeah. And don't meditate. It's probably the first time I'm saying that. You're just looking very practically. Don't go into any sort of lull. So this is moving. Everything in this world is moving. It's changing, constant. Yes or no?
Yes.
This body has changed since you seemingly first got it. It has undergone a lot of changes. Every cell has changed. Yes? Thoughts, are they constant? No. Constantly changing. Emotions, I see every day with all of the Sangha, every day. One day so happy, one day so upset. Yeah. Emotions also constantly changing. Is it? So all of this is constantly changing. Sensations in the body also constantly changing. What is it that is the unchanging? That which witnesses all of this changing, what is that? Okay, there's no audio. No. There's the audio in the Hangout?
Yes.
There is audio in the Hangout, but there is no audio on YouTube. They say. So YouTube is giving us some trouble today. It's okay. It is what it is. If it's working well on Hangout, there's nothing really much we can do about it. Okay, let's see. So some responses are coming, which is saying that I check and see, and I see that there is nothing here. There is nothing here. So this I which is checking, is it not the same nothing? Is it? Can there be something which is no thing, and yet it is the I? Can there be something which is no thing, and yet it is aware? Because that is what we seem to be saying. I find that here there is nothing which is the witness of everything. Your mind doesn't realize how true that is and how beautiful that is. Because this, your ultimate reality, the absolute truth of the self, is not a thing, and yet it is aware, self aware. You will not find the self as something. You only find it as is no thing. I'm going to restart my Hangout again just to see if that helps them. Maybe I reconnect. Okay, let's see now. Sometimes Maya has to work like this because we are speaking so directly. Stay with me through all of this. Now, two things can happen. When you look for the self, who am I, and you find that there is no thing, one is that you can be disappointed and you will feel that, oh, I am not finding the self. This is not true. Second is that you can come to a conclusion that the self is nothing. This is also not true. It is no thing. It is non-phenomenal. Yet it is the unchanging reality, the noumenon from which all phenomenon comes. It is the substratum for all things. Therefore, when I ask you, are you aware now? You say yes. But not because you saw this awareness as if it was an object of sight. but because there is a deep knowing of this, knowing of itself, don't try to make your mind understand this. As the words are being spoken from here, just allow yourself to follow them and see that this is true. At the center of your existence, there is this no thing from which all things come and go. It itself is not a thing. Therefore, don't expect to perceive it as if it will be something that will be found. This awareness you are. And this does not change. All the states keep changing. Waking, sleep, and dream. But that which is aware of these states, that is this unchanging self, this no thing. I was saying the other day that if you are trying to use your mind to understand this, it is like trying to use a hammer as a toothpick. You're only going to hurt yourself. It is not going to help. What is the approach we must have towards the mind? See it for what it is. Just a bundle of thoughts and other similar energies like imagination, memory. Just see it for what it is. But keep looking deeper. Try to find the one that is witness also to the mind. Then what will you find? You will find that there is a presence here, the sense that I exist. I am. But you are aware even of this. This which is the light of this world. You are aware of it. That which is aware even of consciousness, even of I am, itself is not subject to time and space or any final rules. It doesn't have form, shape. It was not born. It is not going to die. And you are it. This truth remains unchanging no matter what you are believing or not. Therefore, all that is needed to find this self is some openness. To just look, like all of you are looking. And the openness to reject all the answers from the mind. Because when looking is happening, the mind will come up with all of its defenses. It will try to come up with some conclusions. Both the conclusion I got it and I haven't got it are false. There is nothing to get. You have always only been this awareness. Haven't got it is impossible because you are aware and you are aware that you are aware. Therefore, it is not possible to not get what I am saying. So, to say I got it or haven't got it are just conclusions in the mind. Could it be that the recognition of the self is this straightforward, this simple? Many times you have this experience of clear seeing. I am this awareness. And yet the mind can play this very subtle trick on you, telling you that there is still a I, which is an individual entity, which is separate from awareness. And to help you with that confusion, I ask you, who is aware of awareness? We have misused I for so long. We have misused the term I for so long to denote the ego, to denote the sense of separation, that there can be some mental denial about this fact that it is I which is aware of itself, that I am this self, I am awareness, I am Brahman, I am the Absolute. I am that. That nothing from which all these universes come and go. Everything comes from within this self and dissolves back into this self. Don't visualize, this is your experience already. When I am, the world is. When I am goes to sleep, there is nothing, there is no thing. And I am aware even of this. I exist prior to the sense of existence also. Who is aware of awareness? Who is it if it is not I? Is it a second-hand report that awareness is here? Or is it our direct experience? Isn't it our living truth right now? I am aware. I is awareness. Then what happens? Then, as Maharaj sometimes very strongly used to say, then the I am infection comes. I still find it a bit blasphemous because this I am is consciousness itself. But sometimes you can look at it like that. All this drama would not be possible without the birth of this sense of being, this sense of existence. So I, awareness, playing in my dynamic form as consciousness, I am. I am that I am is the voice of consciousness of God itself. Anything that we attach after this I am is a story, is the pretense of separation, is a lie ultimately. So satsang is the dropping of all that we have attached to I am, because it is false. Being is just being. So the play of attaching ideas to myself, I am this way, I am that way, I am right, I am honest, I am old, I am young, all these ideas belong to nobody actually, belong to the mythical entity called the person or the ego. It is just a myth. To see that it is just a myth is to kill it. Sometimes when the sages say you have to kill the ego or destroy the ego, it feels like I really have to strangle somebody. It is not like that. You just have to see it as non-existent. There is no separation. There are no two. Look around you right now. Are they two? Not unless you buy a story from the mind. Not unless you buy a label from the mind. Are they two? It is just one appearance. It is as simple as that. There are no two. There never have been. To pretend to believe this lie, we need to have a label to objectify this appearance, to make separation where there is none, is, as the sage Ashtavakra says, a folly, is ignorance. There are no two. This is your experience right now. What you are experiencing is oneness, but you're labeling it as two, as separation. Okay? So this is the only functioning of the mind, to make duality where there isn't any, to make the story of me and another where there actually isn't any. Play with this even after satsang. Just look at this appearance and see that it is just one appearance. Look at everything without labels. It will make everything so light and easy. And as you stop labeling, this constant desire, what's in it for me, will start to thin out a bit. Otherwise, we walk into every situation, every event, every meeting, expecting something. I should get something. The non-existent me. So this constant mantra, the Maha mantra of the ego, what's in it for me, start to lighten up. If you stop labeling your experiencing, or at least stop believing the labels, in this way then, I am remains unassociated and pure. When we believe our labels, our ideas, our concepts, nothing really changes for consciousness. Only the pretense of personhood seems to be full of suffering. And something tells me that those who are in satsang are done with this play of suffering. So what happened now? We saw that there is this unchanging, unmoving, attributeless awareness within which there is the birth of this light called consciousness, which is playing this movie of the world upon itself. It is the light as well as the screen. And emerging with this light is this entire play of this world. No separation ever happened. But as part of the play, there is the birth of this energy called the mind, the energy constructs called thoughts, which seem to have this function to make us believe, consciousness itself believe, that the separation is real. So consciousness decides to play with it for a while, maybe to get some juice from this experience. It wants to experience itself personally in some way. And then soon enough tires of this play and then invents ways and means for itself to become free of this delusion. And one of the ways is to come to satsang, to remind itself about the truth of what it is. And in satsang you hear that you are this presence, you are this being. You are not contained within this body, nor are you contained outside the body. You are not to be found in reality in this realm at all. And you check and you confirm this. You find that this separate entity which I believed myself to be never was here. I have always been this light of consciousness. And then some of you might look and say, I am aware even of this light of consciousness. Primarily for that which is the absolute, the self, even consciousness is coming and going. So then consciousness comes to this recognition of its true source, of what it is really made up of, and the idea of suffering starts to seem so alien, so far out, that a sage will struggle to suffer. As Bhagavan said, for a jnani, to believe a thought is as much of a struggle as it is for a ajnani to let go of a thought. So all of these thoughts which seem so meaningful and relevant to you today will lose their relevance and meaning. You will see that they are only the voice of the non-existent one. Just the mouth without a face. Just words that belong to nobody. And in keeping this mind aside, to divest it of your belief, you will come to the end of this seeming suffering, this seeming separation. And satsang is the aid to that. So both the recognition of who I am, this unchanging awareness, and the dropping of this false idea about myself, which is the end of this false conditioning, is what is called liberation or freedom. The recognition that I am awareness, that I am not a thing, can come in a very sober way, or it can come as a very strong awakening experience. In spite of how it comes, it is helpful for us to drop this false conditioning, this false idea of separation, but many times it is not enough. Many times it can be that some of you have had the most beautiful awakening experiences and very quick to buy some idea of specialness. Therefore, it is good to keep coming to satsang and to let go of all of this conditioning, vasanas, tendencies, whatever you might call them, the dropping of all arrogance. And arrogance only means separation. False humility is also arrogance. So what should we do? Should we create a new hangout? Because YouTube seems to have been frozen for a long time. Yeah. Yes. Everything in this phenomenal realm has pros and cons. There is no perfection in this realm. Just like this technology allows us to meet this beautiful family from all over the world, but sometimes it can cause this kind of